Okay guys, so your lesson this week is the massive grey area, which is treat meals, cheat meals, the cheat meal drama. Okay, so first I want to step into the whole theory behind cheat meals. Okay, so if you're cheating at anything, it means you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Okay, if you're cheating in a relationship, you shouldn't be doing it. So if you call it a cheat, it's already got a negative vibe around it before you've even put anything in your fucking mouth. In your mindset, you're already telling yourself that cheating is wrong. So we already know cheating is wrong. So you're telling yourself subconsciously you are doing something you are not meant to be doing. So many people tell me after like a cheat meal that they feel shit about themselves. They crave it and crave it and crave it and crave it, have it, and they feel like shit. And I think part of that's to do with the fact that they feel that it's something that they shouldn't be having. On our nutrition program, there isn't anything out of bounds. As long as it fits your calories, and as long as it fits in your fats, proteins and carbs, and as long as it's in moderation, anything goes. As long as you stick to the rules. So I would call it a cheat meal if I hadn't fucking done the exercise that I was meant to be doing. I hadn't hit my goals for the week. I hadn't lost weight. I hadn't lost measurements. I hadn't improved on my fitness. My attendance was shit. I hadn't basically adhered to the program. Then it is a cheat meal, because you shouldn't be having something that's going to sabotage your progress even more, because you're not doing the work in the first place. So if you're not sticking to the program and you're not monitoring your food, you're not turning up to sessions, you're not improving in your fitness, you're not seeing changes on the scales, you're basically not doing what I'm asking you to do, it is cheating. Basically, you are rewarding yourself with food, like a dog, like dogs do, for not adhering to the program. It's like going to school, sitting an exam, getting an F, and your parents fucking having a party for you at the house. Yeah, but at least I turned up to the exam. At least I took part in the exam. Fuck that. Fuck that. That's the minimal expectation of yourself, of just fucking turning up. But that's what we've got. Your belief in yourselves isn't as high as it should be. Your expectations shouldn't be as high as it should be higher than what you're currently expecting. So if you're rewarding yourself when you're not hitting the targets, then that is wrong, because you wouldn't do it in any other area of your life. Never in work, if you were set a target to sell a certain amount of a product and you didn't hit anywhere near it, they wouldn't reward you for it. So why the fuck would you reward yourself? So I call it a treat meal. See how we knocked off the CH? It's a treat meal. So a treat is when you have done the work. You've done the required work. You've hit the required attendance. Your results are going how they should be going. Yeah, sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes you smash a week and you might not get exactly the results that you thought you'd get. But if overall your results are going in the right direction, then you can still allow yourself a treat meal, because you are doing what you're meant to be doing. Sometimes our bodies react at slower or faster rates, but you are doing, and you can honestly say, my fitness is getting better, my clothes are feeling better, I'm feeling confident, my weight loss is going down, I'm just feeling good. Then yeah, if it's working, it's working. But if it's not working, it's a cheat meal and you shouldn't be fucking having it. It's like it's like rewarding yourself for minimal expectations. So when you first go to the gym for the first week and you go 4 or 5 times and you're like, yeah, I'm having a reward meal. But now, a year later, you can't be rewarding yourself for just turning up to the gym, because now it has gone from something new to a habit. So you don't reward your normal daily habits. It's like when we first start brushing our teeth. We might get a reward from our parents. But 30 years later, we can't keep fucking rewarding ourselves for it, because now it's a daily habit. So it's only the new things that you are doing that you should reward yourself for. Things that have been implemented that are now part of your lifestyle, you cannot reward yourself for, because they're part and parcel of what you are currently doing and the way you're currently living. It's like when I started doing daily emails. When I banged out my first 7 in my first week, I was like, yeah. And I felt really good about myself, and I felt like rewarding myself or whatever. And now, 300 emails later, it's part and parcel of my life. I just do it. I don't feel the need to reward myself, because I've worked hard enough to create a new constructive daily habit. So it's only a cheat if you haven't done the fucking work. If you've done the fucking work and results are going how they're meant to be, it's a treat. Okay? So it's saint or sinner time. Yeah? The cheat or treat. Can you control yourself? When it comes to anything, can you control yourself? Have you got control upon only allowing yourself a certain amount of something, or one of something, not the whole bag of something? See, what we've got to learn is that everything's not black or white. There is grey in between. And if you are starting to allow yourself treat meals, we'll call them treat meals for the rest of the webinar. If you're going to allow yourself these, there's got to be an in-between. You've got to be an in-betweener. You don't necessarily have to finish the whole packet. You've got to show control. So, saint or sinner time, guys. You have got to decide how you're going to live. Are you going to keep telling yourself the bullshit story that you had to have everything? Remember, nothing landed in your mouth by accident. You are in control of everything, and as soon as you start telling people you're not in control, that's when you are playing the victim to circumstances. And we all know that victims only go to pity parties where they're surrounded by other victims that congratulate themselves on being victims, and they're forever going to be a pussy, and they're never going to live up to expectations, and they're ultimately never going to get the goals that they want in life because it's his, hers, theirs, mine, blah, blah, blah. Everyone else's fault. And they just point their finger. It's a point the finger party. So there's two ways of going about it, guys. There is flexible versus rigid dieting. Okay, so dieting depends upon what we've got there, your goals, your physical condition, preferences, lifestyle, genetics, and results. Like me, personally, I'm a fan of flexible dieting. I don't believe people react well by saying you cannot have any of these foods. Because we all know when you are told that you can't do something, I'll use the whole scenarios when the waiter comes out with the plate, the hot plate in the restaurant, they put it by your lap and they say, Mr. Jones, the plate is hot, do not touch it. They turn around and what do? I'm like, a little touch, just to see how fucking hot it really is. But I've just been told not to touch it. We have, as humans, we like to break the rules. So if you've got 100 rules in your diet, 100 foods you're not allowed to have, remember, when you're told you're not allowed something, you think about it. We all think that mindset is cheesy and bullshit and doesn't account for nothing, but it does. If mindset didn't and psychology didn't matter, companies like Coca-Cola wouldn't spend billions of pounds on 20-second adverts that are going to try and stick into your brain to make you make a purchase. It does matter and it does work. So when you're told a list of things you cannot do, you think about them and you want to do them. And I bet you can think of all different areas in your life, and I bet you can think of stories right now where your parents told you not to do something and you went away and did it. Or your partner said, don't get pissed tonight, and you thought, fuck her, and gone and got pissed. Or whatever it may be. You can think of numerous stories, guys. But your dieting and your choice depends upon your goals. I mean, if you are in serious health concerns, I would completely forget about cheat meals, cheat days, whatever you want to call them, treat meals, treat days, at all for the start. For the first few weeks, I'd forget about them completely. Because if your physical condition's in shit state and your health's really bad, then you need a good of start as possible to make sure you adhere to the program, stay motivated and stay on course, because we know results are vital for your motivation. And also, you might know in the past that your body responds to certain things. If it works, and you know it works, and you can sustain it, do it. But I said, if you know it works, and you can sustain it. But a lot of you listening in obviously can't sustain a lot of the things you've tried, or you wouldn't be listening to this because you wouldn't be out of shape. So obviously somewhere along the line you could not sustain whatever the hell you were doing. And that's just the truth. So whatever you're doing was either too hard to follow, too strict, too complicated, or you weren't motivated enough, whatever it may be. There's a reason why you're listening to this. So think about your goals, your physical conditions, preferences, what you like, what you don't like, your lifestyle, how the hell is it going to fit into it, your genetics. So is all your family predisposed to being overweight? Are they all overweight? So, you know, shit, there's a high likelihood that I've got my genetics are a little bit against me, but I can still fucking work against them and I can still fight them. And my previous results, what's worked for me in the past, Has it worked where I've just stayed strict, or has it worked where a little bit of flexibility has helped and keep me adhering to my program in the long term? Okay, because whether or not you believe it, guys, you are not 100% in. When people say, right, I'm ready, Adam, I'm ready to start, none of us are 100% balls deep into a program. Okay, we all have faults, we all have moments, and the thing between flexible and rigid is the fact that with rigid, it's like, oh my god, I've had something, I've wrecked my diet, it's over and done with, oh, I'm going to have to quit, I'm going to join another program, whatever it may be, we feel like we've broke it. But when it's flexible, we know that, right, okay, I've done that, and now I need to press that reset button, and I need to bounce back tomorrow. So flexible allows, obviously, a little bit more flexibility with the diet, rather than this is what you are following. You are not allowed to step outside of this. If you step outside of this, you are failing. And we don't want to hear that we're failing. So we're bound to break the rules at some point, because we are definitely rule breakers. And it's within us as humans to want to break the rules, to want to be bad. So the less rules that there are, and a little bit more flexibility, I feel that long term you are going to be more successful than following a complete strict regime. Because if we were that controlled to follow a strict regime, we wouldn't be out of shape in the first place, or we wouldn't be out of the condition that you want to be in the first place. So we need to remember that one bad meal won't make you fat, just like one good meal will not make you fit or lean. However you look at this present moment isn't because of one treat meal per week. So when people tell me if you are grossly overweight or carrying excess body fat, it isn't because of one treat meal per week. It's because you've continuously, day in, day out, taken in more calories than you have burned. You are eating more than you are moving, simply put. And it's been not over a week, not over a month, it's been consistent. Weeks, months, years, you have been overeating and under moving. So when you try to rectify that, which we are doing right now, you've got to remember that one good week will not rectify one bad year. You have to have realistic expectations. That's where we talk about the £2 loss. £2 over a year is £104, which is about 7 stone, which is amazing, unbelievable. Some people don't even need to lose that. And that's all from just £2 per week. But it's whether you're balls in for the long term or you're just in it for a fad. And that's a question you've got to ask yourself. Are you in it long term, or are you a short term player? Do you only swing for home runs, or do you swing to hit consistently? Because I'm telling you, if you only swing for home runs, you will miss more times. So it's how you are going to attack it depends upon your results. So if you want short-term results, very short-term, rigid dieting is very, very good for that. If you want long-term results, flexible dieting is the way forward. And for me, it's the only way. And like I said, it's like walking down the road, dropping your phone on the floor. You've dropped your iPhone on the floor, you're gutted. But what you don't do is you don't fucking carry on stamping on it. You don't see the phone on the floor and go bang, 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 bang. Because what I've done is I've had something bad to eat, so I may as well just fucking continually I've had one bad meal, so I've opened the floodgates. I'll have the chocolates, the crisps, I'll have the ice cream. I'll just keep overeating. Because what you do with your phone is you dust it off and put it back in your pocket. You wouldn't carry on stamping on it. So don't do that to yourself with your diet. Because you become, there's an emotional cycle to most things. Okay? So the emotional cycle to dieting is, boom, we start the diet. We have this shitload of restrictions. We feel deprived. And what comes along with deprived is cravings. Okay? We all know. Those cravings are those things that you are told you cannot have. So when I'm told I can't have something, I'm just thinking, oh, I want it. I'm going to have it. So then when you think about it and it's in your subconscious mind, guess what happens when you firstly make the decision that you're going to have something? Boom, it's that food you're told you're not allowed. And like I said, your mind is far more powerful than your body. What do you think listens to which? Do you think your body listens to your mind or your mind listens to your body? Your mind is your central computer. It will believe most things you repeatedly tell it. It's like a computer. Whatever you type into a computer, your computer accepts it and stores it in the memory. It doesn't say, oh, whatever you've typed there is wrong. It doesn't tell you that. So it's like our brain, it accepts it. Okay? So when you're told things and you think things, they do stick in your brain, guys. So we start the diet. It's firstly we're told restriction, then deprivation, then it's we have these cravings, then we give in, then we have guilt, then we do the diet again, then we restrict, then we deprive, then we crave. So firstly, if we have a flexible diet, yeah, we've got restrictions. Every diet has restrictions. If you're not prepared for restrictions, press stop now and fucking just accept your body. Okay? Because there has to be restrictions. No matter whatever way people fucking butter it up or try and sugarcoat it or try and believe that you're not restricting yourself, every diet has restrictions and has a reduction in calories. Every single one. So these people that are telling you anything different are trying to bullshit you and trying to put a sales pitch together and convince you that you are not on a calorie loss and a restriction diet, because you are. Okay? So it's flexible. So depriving yourself of things, a flexible diet doesn't deprive yourself of things, it allows you, but in moderation. Okay? So yeah, you might have the odd craving, but you know that you are going to be allowed to have what you want as long as you do the work. So you're not giving in because you are actually allowed. You just got to do the work. So there is zero guilt. So you don't have to start the fucking diet again because you're still on it. And that's what flexible dieting gives you, guys. So how much, how often, okay? How much am I allowed and how often have I got it? I'm allowed it. Okay, so we've got this is all the maths now. I love a little bit of maths. Let's crack it out. Maths. So we're in the 90% compliance rule. I know that sounds quite high, but initially, guys, you need it to get the results, and you need the results to keep your motivation high and keep your compliance into the exercise program. I don't feel I need to repeat this again. The higher your compliance, the more strict you're going to have to be. Okay? And also it depends upon your results. Some people I know are only 80-70% compliant. Because if your results are going the way you want them, continue to do what you are currently doing. if the way you're feeling and your body shape and your fitness and your health are going the way you want them, continue what you're doing. But if they're not, you have to be more compliant to the exercise and the nutrition. So 90% compliance is a great way to start, and then you can lessen it off as your results come in. But you need to be strict to start off with. So let's have a look. Here's the math, guys. If I was 90% compliant, I've got two ways of looking at it. You've got calories and you've got meals. So we'll go through calories first. So if I was allowed 2,000 calories per day and I wanted to be 90% compliant because I want fucking results, okay? So that means 90% of 2,000 calories per day. So 2,000 calories per day, 7 days a week is 14,000 calories. So 90% of 14,000 calories is 1,260 calories per week, or 180 calories per day. So that means 180 calories of my allowance I can have per day. So this is how I know, because I know that there's people out there that have a chocolate bar every single day. It could be a 180 calorie chocolate bar, but everything else is fucking perfect. Everything else is fucking perfect. The exercise is bang on point, all the rest of the nutrition is bang on point, and 180 calories is on the treat. So if you use stuff like MyFitnessPal and your calorie and you're monitoring your calories online, this is a great way. So work out 90%. But then again, guys, if 90% is not producing you the results you want, you need to go to 95%. Okay? Generally, if you follow 90% and you are honest and you are following the exercise regime, you will get a shitload of great results. Because 90% of your work is fucking bang on, and you need that 10% to keep you fucking sane and not being like a nutritional nun. Okay? Or you could look at it in meal terms. So we're allowed 5 meals per day. So that's breakfast, mid-morning, dinner, mid-afternoon, tea. Okay? That's 5 meals. Okay? So 5 times 7 is 35 meals per week. So 90% of 35 is 31.5 good meals per week. So that leaves 3.5 meals per week that are your allowance for to be slightly naughty or treaty, whichever way you want to look at it. So that's 3 meals and 1 snack per week. But as you can see, whatever way you want to look at it, if you look at it as just meals and portions, if you do have 3 bad meals and you're not monitoring the calories, you could be in the shit. Because what you are having might be well in excess of what you're allowed. So I would always opt for the calories, because at least you know, boom, what I'm having is X amount of calories, I'm allowed X amount of calories, so I'm within the target. And I record it in MyFitnessPal, so I'm not going out of my calories. And people say, oh, well, I don't want to monitor my calories, it's too hard, but I can post on Facebook 10 times a day, which takes more time. You only need to monitor yourself for 1 month. And that will cover all your habits, because nothing new happens from month to month to month. You will roughly follow the same shit every single week. So if you're recording it over a month, you will grasp your habits, you will grasp your targets, you will know your numbers, you will know what you can and can't eat, and you will know what you can and can't have as a treat meal because you would have gauged your results over 4 weeks, and if it's producing results, you will continue to do it, and if it's not producing results, you will adapt your nutrition. So 90%, so you need to know how many calories you're allowed in the first place, guys, because if you don't know that, you can't work out 90%. And I would always opt for the calories, because it's easy to... Also, guys, if you go for the calories per day, that's something little and often, and we all know little and often wins the day. Completely wins the day. Ask the guy that has sex once a week, so 52 times a year, versus the guy that just has one banging session once a year on their anniversary. I'm pretty sure they'd prefer the 52 times once a week. Always bring it into sex, guys, because it catches your attention. So work out your calories, guys. Work out 90%. And if what you're doing at the end of the day is producing the results that you want, continue to do it. So you have a choice, guys. You are allowed and you're not forbidden. Okay? Flexible dieting allows you that choice. And at the end of the day, if you cannot control yourself, you are not going to be successful in the long run anyway. So you have to be able to make your own choices, stand on your own 2 feet, and not just be good when people are watching, or not just train well when you're with your coach. You need to do it when you're away from the coach and you're away from people, when you're alone in the house at 9 PM and you're hungry and the fridge is chanting your name. Yeah, you've got to be able to control yourself and have good food choices when you're alone and not with other people. Like I said, there are different options, guys. So you can have the small treat every day. Like I said to you on the previous slide, if you go by calories, you can see that 90% of 2,000 calories leaves you with 180 calories per day. I know people that have a bar of chocolate every day, or a couple of pieces of chocolate, because if you have a couple of pieces of Galaxy, it equals to 105 calories, which is 5%. So if you have a couple of pieces, there's people on my course directly now that are having a piece of chocolate every single day, but everything else is perfect. You've got to understand that their intensity on the exercise is high and everything else is perfect. That's how they're allowed that. Don't just think, oh, Adam said I'm allowed a chocolate bar every day, because I didn't say that. I said if it fits into your calories, you've done everything else perfect, and it's within your 90% compliance rule, you can have it. And also, if your results are going where they want to be, do it. But if they're not, fucking be more strict and adhere to the program better. Because if you're telling me you're 90% adhering and you're not getting the results, you are bullshitting yourself. You're a liar. Okay, I'm not afraid of calling you out and telling you a liar, because you will be a liar if you think 90% isn't getting you results. So, a small treat every day versus one big ass meal. I think that you would overeat on your bigger meal than you would do on something little every day. Even though in your mind, something small every day isn't as grand as this big feast at the end of the week. I would opt for little and often always. Same way, I'd rather if someone came to me and said, would you prefer me to do a 1 day 5-hour workout or 1 hour per day for 5 days? Which would be more effective? The 1 hour day for 5 days, because you're raising your metabolism 5 days and you're going to have more of an effect on each day, because obviously when we exercise we eat better than you would do just 1 day. Okay, so remember that, guys. You need to make sure however you want to do it, it's got to be sustainable. Self-control is one of the biggest factors in this. Okay, you got to have, as on the fingers it says, willpower, confidence, determination. You got, guys, confidence in yourself, confidence in the program. Listen, you're all following the same program. How can one person be producing amazing results and you not? You know why? Because they're doing the work that you said you are doing, when in reality, behind closed doors, you are fucking not doing it. You are lapsing on your diet, you're not recording your MyFitnessPal, you're not setting goals, you're very lapsed when your friends come down, and when you're out of sight, you're out of mind, and you think you can get away with shit until you come on a Friday, you get weighed and measured, and you have all your stats done, and reality hits you there and then. That you are not adhering to the program. Okay? So you've got to have self-control. Okay? Think about the areas in which you relapse. So if you are allowing yourself, for example, a chocolate bar that's within your calories, and it's your small treat every single day, and your results are going great, and it's within your 180 calories, for example, of the maths that I did before, then that means in your fridge there shouldn't be no more shit than 5 chocolate bars. Because you know you're going to have one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's it. If around your house is biscuits, chocolates, crisps, and your partner's eating shit in front of you, how the fuck are you meant to be successful? You're not going to be. So you need to keep things out of sight, guys. It needs to be out of your house. Because hopefully, if you were desperate for some treat, the time you got to the shop, you would have thought twice. Because remember, it's short-term satisfaction versus long-term happiness. And if you want short-term fads, you crack on with the fact of eating shit and thinking you can get away with it. If you want long-term happiness and a long-term body that you want, you have to show control. You have to have balance in your life. You have to have calmness in situations where maybe you might want something. You need to relax, think about why you're doing it. I know it's easier said than done, but fucking changing your body, changing your figure, changing your life isn't easy anyway. You've got to show determination and confidence in yourself and willpower, guys. Everybody will love to see people fail in fitness and weight loss, because then they can say, well, I told you so. I told you so. What sort of fucking help is I told you so? I need some support from you fuckers. So make sure your friends, your partner, your kids, they're all on the same track as you. They understand what you want, why you want it, and what you're prepared to do to get it. The big treat day, guys. I told you this one is risky. Okay? I like the picture in the middle as well. What you are doing is, ironically, you are planning to overeat. You are planning to take in way more calories than you should be allowed. It's risky. You're at the point of undoing 6 days of hard work, because one day you've gone excessively over your calorie allowance. You have poor quality, high calories, and then what you do is then you have to deprive yourself for another 6 days. And deprivation, like in the chart, deprivation then leads to crave, and then leads to giving in. But if you're having something little and often rather than a big massive cheat day, those cravings and the giving in will be less and less and less, because you know you're having it every 24 hours. And people think, Adam, you're crazy. I can't have chocolate every day. What I'm telling you is, guys, listen, if you were only having 2 squares of chocolate every day, that is not going to affect what you are doing. It's all the other shit. It's all the other overeating. It's all the other under-exercises, lack of intensity. All those type of things are going to have way more of effect than you having 2 pieces of chocolate. I'm not two pieces, guys, not handfuls, yeah? So, if you're allowing yourself unlimited cheat days, it's a lack of control, guys. It's like starving yourself before a fucking all-you-can-eat buffet. You overeat, feel like shit, eat more calories than you should be, probably ruin your 6 days of hard eating, and all for what? So you can be a pig and overeat and show lack of control. So I definitely would tell you to avoid a treat day, because it will counteract. And for you guys that think that you're trying with your diet and you're following these treat days and week in, week out you're losing very minutely or you're maintaining, it's because something like a treat day and the excess in calories is probably balancing the scales to calories in versus calories out, which is making you not produce an actual result. The epic treat meal. Okay, I had to put this on, guys, because The Rock is a bad boy. And he's a fucking legend. He's a beast. He's got a mint body. But what I wanted to make you aware of is this picture that I put on. The Rock with a fucking massive plate of pancakes and shit and junk food. And what is portrayed is the fact that this is the norm for his weekly treat meal. It is not. Trust me. Ironically, the picture of him with the pancakes was taken after, get this, 150 days of clean eating for his Hercules video film. So he ate completely clean for 150 days, which created the body that he wanted, which showed complete discipline, and then he had that treat meal. And do you think that treat meal would affect him after 150 days? Not really. It'll replenish the body, and it'll get him set for another fucking stage in his life where he's training again. But don't be fooled into these things on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, where people are posting these things, when in reality you don't know the true story behind it. Okay? He ate 150 days clean. Are you prepared to do that? Probably not. But what we want to do is we want to eat 4 or 5 days, maybe clean, and still have that treat meal. It doesn't fucking happen. Okay? If you want the results of how people look, you have to do what they do. Okay? So don't try and emulate these celebrities, because a lot of the time they're not 100% honest as to what they're actually doing. Okay, like I said, The Rock, it wasn't a week's treat meal, it was after 150 days, and that his treat meals could be anywhere between 6,000 to 10,000 calories. And if you are on, for example, 2,000 calories per day, and you have a 10,000 calorie treat meal, that is 5 days gone. Kapush. You evened it out. And you wonder why you're maintaining. You wonder why your body isn't changing. And let's bear in mind, guys, The Rock is a 6'3", fucking 260 pound powerhouse. So your actual physical condition does matter when you think about how you are going to treat it. Because if you are overweight and fat and carrying excess body fat, your body is already susceptible to weight gain. So by you feeding it shit, it's going to crave it and want it more after a big hit rather than having little tiny hits, guys. And like I said, it's like your meals in a day. I don't tell you to have 2,000 calories in one hit. I tell you to have 5 meals per day. So 2,000 divided by 5 is roughly 400 calories per meal. It's little and often to maintain that metabolism, to stop the cravings, to stop the hunger. Little and often, guys, to keep the blood sugar level steady. I don't tell you to have it in one hit. So the same way I'm telling you to think about small and often with treats, not the big hit, okay? Because it, like I said, results tell me that it tends to nullify a lot of days of hard work. Carb cycling, okay? So carb cycling, guys, is athletes use it as refeeding, okay? So when it's you have really high protein, very little carbs, then one day you will replenish your body with a higher carb diet. Okay, there are moments where this is good, because if you have a low calorie or a really high protein diet, your body is depleting itself all the time, and your metabolism slowly but surely gets used to this. So a little influx in carbs will help you do that. Okay, but it'll only help you do that if you stay within your calories. So if you're doing a high protein diet for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every fourth day, around about 4 days, your body gets used to what you're doing. So on the fourth day, you need to increase your carbs. Okay, so that could be where you implement your treat meal. Okay, but it's got to stay within your calories. Okay, so if it fits in your MyFitnessPal, fits within your carbs, proteins and fats in your calories, then every fourth day, to shock the body up, maybe carb cycling could be an answer for you. Okay, so it stops your metabolism from crashing and fat loss stalling, because you do know that if you stay on a low calorie, high protein diet, your body will shut down. So every now and again you do need to shock your body with an influx of carbohydrates. This doesn't necessarily mean junk food, this just means carbohydrates in general, guys. So it's a refeed every fourth day. So it's more carbs, so that could be from fruit, it could be from veg, it could be from sweet potato, it could be from whatever. So it's a refeed, not a cheat meal. Okay? So carb cycling, guys, so it affects your dieting hormones. So it will, like I said, stop the decrease in your metabolism. Okay, because like I said, low calories over a long period of time without having any shocks will stop your results. The dieting obviously increases your appetite, decreases your anabolic, guys, and increases your catabolic. So your catabolic, guys, is when your body utilizes its own muscle for energy. Okay, so if you're on a low calorie diet consistently, the body needs to get rid of any active muscle that's burning away loads and loads of energy. So you can't stay on a low calorie, low carb, high protein diet for days and weeks upon end, because your results will slow down. So this is where a refeed, and obviously if you think that you're getting a refeed every 4 days, it takes the edge off thinking, oh, I've not had any carbs. It'll psychologically be a lot better for you. So do not follow anything with crazy promises, though. So this carb cycling, let's conclude it with the fact that your body is very smart. It's smarter than you think. If it feels that it's not getting enough energy from food, it will slow down. It can't continue to burn at the same rate. So if you do that low diet for weeks on end, the body's metabolism will slow down. Your metabolic rate will slow down. So what you're eating is not getting burned up at the same rate because the body can't do it. Okay, it has to hold on to energy, because if you're still trying to exercise hard yet you're not giving your body enough energy to do that, the body can't do everything. So it'll slow down its metabolic rate. So then what you were eating then to lose weight, you then maintain or actually putting on weight because your metabolic rate isn't burning it as quick, because you are slowing it down by starving yourself. So every 4th day is a good idea to have a refeed. So that's an increase in carbohydrates. So it will take the psychological edge off having a treat meal, because like I said, a lot of us are carb monsters and we love carbs. It's carbs generally and bad carbs that are making us overweight. And if you are overweight, carbs, a high carb diet is fucking not what you should be having. But every 4th day as a refeed with good carbohydrates could actually help you improve your results. So with all this, guys, it's sanity and simplicity. KISS. Keep it fucking simple. Okay? If you want long-term success, you need to work out what's going to be sustainable for long-term. Okay? So you don't want any crazy binges or weird, wacky food combinations, or starving yourself for one day, eating 200 calories for another day, eating excessive calories for the next day. You want consistency. The body needs to know where the fuck it's at. It needs to know what's coming. Okay? And also psychologically, guys, you need to know, right, my body needs this. This is how I'm going to feed it. This is what gets me results, so I'm going to hit it that way until my results slow down or stop. Then I'm going to adjust it. Because at the end of the day, if your calories are too high, no matter how good they are, you will not lose weight. Okay? So the benefits are psychological and behavioural, guys. So when you know you're allowed a little bit of something more often, you're not going to feel deprived. You're not going to feel the cravings as such. So you're more likely to adhere to the program. So however you want to attack your treat meal, if you're going to have a treat meal, you need to know that you've done the work in the first place. Because if you haven't done the work, don't treat yourself. Don't reward yourself with food if you haven't done the work. If your results are going well and you fancy having X, Y, and Z, do it. As long as the results are going well and you're doing what you said you would do. If you're not doing it, don't reward yourself with food. That's probably the problem that's got you in the position that you're in right now. Okay? So, psychologically, having something little and often, or like I said, the calories every single day, I feel would be good for a lot of you. But also the weekly treat meal is a long-term accountability system. It's not complicated, and a lot of people who are successful with their diets follow that method. But also the 90% compliance rule, I feel, having the calories every day is just as successful. Anything successful as anything, as long as your results match it. And if you are 90% compliant to our program, you will be successful. If you are telling me that you are 90% compliant and you're doing the exercise and you're not being successful, you are a fucking liar. Reanalyze your shit before you come to me and tell me that, because I will tell you to your face you are a liar. Because I've not met anyone that's 90% compliant and doing the exercise with required intensity and attending that hasn't produced the results on that much compliance. And bear in mind, guys, last thing, eating shit doesn't make you feel good. A lot of us have treat meals and we feel like shit afterwards, like I said completely at the start. Your body's not a wastebasket. Treat it how you want to treat it, and treat it how you want to treat it. Feed it how it should be, and your body then will look how you want it to be. If you feed it shit, it will look like shit. If you feed it well, you will look well. Simple as that. Monitor your food, guys. Keep everything simple. Don't deprive yourself. And flexible dieting is the way forward.